Okay. So I apologize. And David said that he's apologized too. He's in Lakewood this morning, so that's why he's not here. Didn't ditch you for the Agata. That's the okay. So we're starting in the bottom of Kugil. We'll base 3 lines to the bottom. We'll start from there. Go quickly. Omar B'Yechanan, Mishra B'Yisrael Kismo, Doilo Legimosh, Rika Shtei Mishpachos Miyisrael. Doilo Legimo means food. Drink is great because that caused the two mishpachos to be far away from Am Yisrael. Shenema al dvar shalakidu eschem belechem v'mayim. So referring to moyov omoin and now mekadel Am Yisrael belechem v'mayim, and therefore they were out of Am Yisrael. This is the interesting shadow that the on the Torah asked, because the pashas when you go through the Torah, it seems like when that omoin did mekadel belechem v'mayim, because that was the letter that Moshe Rabbeinu sent to Moav. He said the French says, why don't you give me like Anshe Seir and Anshe Ammon, if I'm not giving stuff between the two? So why are you saying that they didn't Mekadim and they're first were busy with that? Okay. So says the Gemara, it makes the close people go far. The people that are close the people that are far come close. Because the Rishonim to get out of problems. Even on the Nevi Abba. So more explains. What is that? That they because they lost out. Because he invited Moshe Rabbeinu to come and eat the bread, so he was zoiche to have his children lishkas goz shneimar umishpacha soifrim yoshvei. Yisrael is not Russia. Yeah, he did tshuva. He did tshuva. Oh, because with the priest before. Good question. I hear. Okay. Before at that time. Before it's Moshe Rabbeinu also didn't get Torah yet, so he's in the same, maybe level. Right here. So he said, "Shnei mishpakat soifrim yoshvei yaves tarosim shamosim sukosim hema kinim aboyim achmas avi beis rechel." So this part of Gemara doesn't dash, but there's a Gemara in Soito. Rashi and Soito comes to explain every one of these words to explain. There's talking about Yisrael. So we're talking about tarosim. They're sitting in the shower and they listen to their father and they live in the sukkah because their father told the kids. The Yisra told his children not to be living in a house. They have to live in sukkahs, not to have a nachla in Eretz Yisrael. So they were in sukkahs, and then they came to the Sanhedrin. Also, as Bnei Yehuda, Midbar Yehuda, Asher B'Negev Orot. They went from the desert to Bnei Yehuda. And he sat with the people. So he was doichet to be with in Sanhedrin because he was Mekar Moshe Rabbeinu. Here the Mefarshim ask that it says by Yisro because Yisro went away when Aroi had the Gzeiro to kill the Jewish kids. So then at H there was 3 people. There was Yisro, there was Eoy, and there was Bilam. So Bilam stayed there and then he got punished. And Eoy he was quiet, so he suffered. And Yisro because he left, so he was Zoichet, a big schus. So Shaila is what was the schus of Yisro? Was the schus because he was because it was a schus because he was Mekar Moshe Rabbeinu with food, or the schus was they left away. So something I think the Mashal himself brings it, and other Mepharshim bring that the one thing is that for him not to be punished, that's why he left, because he left, so he doesn't have the punishment. But to be zoichet to something great, he had to be feeding Moshe Rabbeinu. Says the Gemara, Ma'alemis Ayin Min Harishoim. How do you see that in Micha? That's what we saw yesterday. The Micha who was zoichet of the Zohar, but he fed Am Yisrael. And therefore, he wasn't punished. The story of Chavei Shel Navi, the Gemara brought before. What was it? Idor and Navi. It's amazing when you look again the Navi. By the way, this is on the daf, especially the daf of Shabbos, is fascinating. Just to open the Navi, Melachim Aleph, and read through the second half of Melachim Aleph. It's like reading almost. Chas to be mastering. It's almost like reading a novel. It takes just a fascinating read, and it goes very quick. And the story is over there. So one of the stories is Idoi and Navi. The Gemara brought earlier. What was Idoi and Navi? Because Baruch Hu sent Idoi for a nevuah, and he gave him an instruction. He says you should not eat and drink in the place. You should make sure to give the nevuah and leave right away. As he's leaving, comes one of the Nivei Yechezkel, and he runs after him, an old man that says the Navi was an old man, and he comes to him, he says, "Come eat and drink with me." And the Navi says, "No, I'm not going to do that because Akash Baruch said not to." He says, "I'm also a Navi, and Akash Baruch told me that you should come and eat and drink with me." So he listened to this. He came and ate and drank, and then he left. And what happened? He was attacked by a lion, and the lion killed the Navi, but he did not attack his donkey. So it was a simon to Klal Yisrael. The Idoi, who was a tzaddik, it was a Navi. He was killed by the lion, not the donkey. That was a simon that what? You see that there was miyad Hashem because he didn't listen. He didn't listen to his own nevuah. It's like more brought before. However, Divrei asked me. He didn't listen to his own nevuah. So that time it says that the other Navi, the Navi Yechezkel, got a nevuah from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, telling him this. They said they should know the Edo was killed. Go check it out. So everybody's gonna know. Why is he getting a nevuah? That's the he got a nevuah. Why? Because he fed either a navi. So the fact that he fed him, that gave him the big the schus, and that is the concept of G'doy L'Legimel. The Shgogas Oil is the one is that referring to. The Oma of Yudo Marabim Malil Vo Yoinason Ledovich Teiki Koris Lechem Loy Nergo Noiv Ira Karanim Velo Nitra Doiga Doimi Velo Nerek Shol V'Shlosh Bono. So we know, like Gemara brought it earlier, when you had the story of Noiv Ira Karanim, was the story that because Noiv Ira Karanim fed David the Melech, Shol heard about it. How did he hear about it? Because there was Doiga Doimi who told him the Lashon Hara, the Noiv Ira Karanim fed David and protected him. So Shaul got very upset. It was during the time that he was chasing David. So he went and he killed all Noiv Karanim. Killed all of them except Yosef, except one survivor from the entire Noiv Karanim. So that caused Noiv Karanim to die. He was chayt Lashon Hara and he was punished. And Shaul and his kids died as well because of that. Because of Noiv Karanim. So it says what? He gave him the bread of Lechem Aponim. Yeah, exactly. He gave him Lechem Aponim because there was nothing else to eat. So it says, when it says over here, if Yonason, the good friend of David, would give him some food, so David would not starve, and have to go eat from Noiv Karanim, all this would be avoided. Now, Ochos is not mentioned. Our Mishnah quotes which Melachim don't have Chelek Olam Haba. Mentioned 3 Melachim. We did not mention Ochos. Why did we mention Ochos? Ochos was a Rosh, so we learned the So the Gemara he is standing between 2 tzaddikim, which means he is as a son, and he has a son and a father who are tzaddik. He's holding bin Yosam and Yechezkel. So Yosam is his father, who was a tzaddik, and Yechezkel is his son, who was a tzaddik. So he has the protection of father and son not to go to Olam Haba. A great of Omar, Mishael came to give Musar to Achaz. He was embarrassed. So go on in front of Achaz. She says Shai Yeshu B'necho means the people of Am Yisrael did tshuva and joined Yeshayahu did tshuva. It's called Shai Yeshu B'necho. The Shar Am Yisrael that joined Yeshayahu in doing tshuva. You should go in front to go to Achaz. El K'tzet Ha'alas Habreicho El Yoino. Go to the edge of the pool, and Mesilas de Koivis. So that's a place where you are with the Pashup Shah means where they clean the clothes, where they do the laundry. So my Koivis, he covered his face and passed by. He was embarrassed. Was embarrassed because he did the Averis. Referring to the actual kli of the Koivisim. The Koivisim, the cleaners. The laundry, they use this kli that has many holes in it. So that's what they put on his face. I mean, literally, not only they put something on their face, they put the kovis kli on his face because he was embarrassed. So this is a very glaring question. Yesterday's that Amoin was the worst. Amoin is the one who put the Avodah Zarah in Kodesh HaKadoshim. So why he's not mentioned? The one doesn't have a Olam Haba. Because the cover of Yeshayahu his father, right? His son. Because according to Yeshayahu's son, that's why we're not going to put we're not going to mention Olam Haba. Here, the first you point out what? Yeah, son was a tzaddik. And now the that's what he's not mentioned. Now the shaila is, does it mean he's coming to Olam Haba or not? The first we discussed it. His pshat is that Mimele, he's not in the list of the people that are coming to Olam Haba, because he's not in the list, but he is not coming to Olam Haba, which is not mentioning him, or that he is, because of that he is going to Olam Haba. So we're going to see where the shows. We get to the end of this daf today. The lechur is the mashmos. If he's not mentioned, that means he is coming to Olam Haba. At least at this stage of the Gemara. Says the Gemara, because of the kvoider, that's why you're zeichel Olam Haba. Because of the cover of the Yeshua, the son, we're not mentioning in the list of the people. Yeah, they're not mentioning is that so he's going to Olam Haba. Very good. That's a discussion. So what it means, not mentioning means, it's not mentioning mean, okay, it's only a list. I'm mentioning, or he's in the list, or not mentioning is if you're not on the list, you're going to Olam Haba. The very first you'll learn that you're going to Olam Haba. We'll see as we get to the end of the day. So the word Menashi Nami Loi Nimni, okay, but Menashi is mentioned in the list. And why? What about his father Chizkiyahu? Says, well, here the big Yitzhak, bro Mizaki Abo, Abo Loi Mizaki bro. A son can give a schus to his father. Father cannot give a schus to his son. Don't make it save for me, says the Kosh. And Avraham Matzil is Yishmael, from his not going to save Yishmael, and then Yitzchak Matzil is Esau. Yitzchak is not Matzil is Esau. Now, the part of the idea is, this Maral has a shtickle about it, that we have a din that bro is Kara de Avu. The son is the legs of the father. So when the son is living and is doing Torah and mitzvahs, is considered to be as if the father is doing it. Yeah, bro is Kara Avu. Therefore, when the son is doing the Torah and mitzvahs, he is giving the schus to the father. That's why he's mizak the father. But the father can't save the son. It's not, the son, he did the rush. The father's not helping. Oh, what about schus? Schus works for as a as they say the mashal of the zeros. You have a lot of zeros, so if you put a 1 in front of the 0, it helps out. You have to have your own 1 in front of the 0. It's a different type. First you do ask about schus. We have a concept called schus. But schus if somebody has to have his own merit as well. Meaning a person who's a Rosh Hashanah and he's a this father cannot take him out.
What they said to obey the Torah, the son done.
Yeah.
Why did the son? How does the son not the father?
No. We're talking about that the son himself brings the schus to the father, not to go and not to be punished so much. That's really already the famous medrash that they brought down a Shulchan Aruch. I say the story that Rabbi Akiva, the whole idea of kaddish on a father. Where does a kaddish on a father come from? Because of the story of Rabbi Akiva, that he was going and he sees this person going around and he has a black face. He says, who are you? He says, I'm burning in Gehenna every single day. I was a Rosh Hashanah, I'm burning in Gehenna. So Rabbi Akiva says, do you have any way to schus? He says, if my son will daven for me, so that will be my schus to get out of Gehenna. So Rabbi Akiva goes and searches, he finds there's a son, and somewhere he was able to find him. He comes to tell you what I mean, Kaddish, and then he sees this person, I think in the Kaloim, he says, you saved me from Gehenna. So talk about a Rosh Hashanah, the Kaddish of the son helps the father. Says the Gemara, one hour over here, just was a question of that but it says that Abraham is not Matzli Yeshua. So the first they ask, but Yeshua we know did Yeshua. We learned it earlier. The difference between Esav and Yeshua. Esav did not do Yeshua, Yeshua did Yeshua. So if Yeshua did Yeshua, why does he need his father to help him? So one simple answer is not Yeshua himself. Talk about the children of Yeshua. The children, his children won't be helped. So now we say that Och is not mentioned because of Chizkiyahu, because he has a son. That's another melech that we saw that was terrible. This is the Gemara we had before. It's very interesting. Doesn't happen a lot. Ramash have a Gemara in the same sect quoting twice the same sect, but some differences. But he says like this: It's on the skull of Yoakim says this, it's something else. What is it? It says the Kenu that prayed the Chikak will go to the Avik Shadi B'Shai Yishlaim. He sees the Gulgoylis in the gates of Shloim. Steve was Zayis the Cheres. And cover, he tried to bury it below Ikfer. Cover below Ikfer. Not only what is Zayis the Cheres, not only he was killed in a bad way, you can't bury him. I'm like Gugal the Shayakim, the Chtiv Kfuras Kamar Yikover, Sachoy Bashtech Hal Mikvur it was a bizoyan, and he's not going to be nikfer. Amar Malku v'lo Yechezkel zazuli bey. So he still was the king of Am Yisrael. You just let him be there in the streets. Karka b'shuay put him in for a cloth. B'husu put him in a box. Chaziz did Visayim. His wife finds the skull. This is the skull of his first wife. Early in the Gemara brought that the neighbor said it. It's always some neighbor tells the wife a bad thing. Now, not much. He's not forgetting his earlier wife. He started the oven and burned. And the Chtiv Zoyis or the Cheres, that's the Cheres that he's not going to be buried, and therefore that was his kapara. The fact he was not being able to bury, he was Zoychel on board because he had a different punishment. Something about Tanya. Sorry, yeah. Something about Tanya. So what does it mean? Yechezkel, the Gemara is going to say that he did a few bad things in his level of tzidkus. What is it? First of all, he said we started before that he claimed his own toiva of I did the good things on my own. Then he said my ois. He was asking for ois. The pasuk is Yechezkel show ma ois ki yurpo Hashem li. I want an ois. I'm going to be ever full. So he asked for ois. That was a aveira goreres aveira. As my eyes, so the goyim came and ate at his table. Goyim goes to Bono. He caused his children to go to Golus. Someone invites a goy to his house and he serves him. Goyim goes to Bono. So he sends his kids to go. The children, they're going to be servants by the king, by the Babylonian king. So that's what happened with Chizio. So here we have the idea, concept of Aveiro, Gereris Aveiro. So one thing causes the other, and brings it, one brings the other. As the Shechaim says, every mitzvah or Aveiro causes a whole like it's not just when you do an Aveiro, it's not just when a person does an Aveiro, it's not just like a small Aveiro. Causing a mitzias in the world. That mitzias puts a person in that position that he's going to go and do more. So the Gemara now dash in the pasuk of Yechezkel inviting the servants, inviting the goyim to come to his house. It says, "Vayismach lev Yechezkel vayarim is called base and nechasoi, the kesef, v'sazov, v'sabstomim, v'shemen atoy." He showed him the inside house and he showed him the good stuff. Amar my base nechasoi ishtoi ishkeso aleh. His wife was serving them. That's based in the Chesoy. Shmuel Omar based Gnoz of Yerushalayim showed them the inside Gnozim, all his treasures. Omar Zino Yerushalayim, which is a steel that eats another steel. That's what they want to start earlier. When we're trying to break into Yerushalayim, they took a metal that eats a metal. Right? It breaks a metal, special metal. That's what he had. And now the Gemara, for some reason, which I couldn't find a good explanation. The Gemara goes on to speak about to darsha psukim aveichel. Something where it shifts to psukim aveichel. Maybe because we speak about Yechezkel that has got golus labanov. So we talk about us.
Last couple of days we talked about it.
Where recently we spoke about Yerushalayim in this kit. Right. Maybe. Okay, so going on dashes the drushes of Churban Amax. Eichel Yoshev Adam. Omar Rova, Omar Avichim Prima Lo Kisho Be'eichel. Eichel Aleph Yud Chofei. Yishavu Shishesh Krisus Batayu. There are even the 36 Krisus and Eichel's Gematria 36. Omar Avichim Omar Prima Lo Kube'alav Beis, because three of the prokim of Eichel go in the order of Aleph Beis. So he says Yishavu, or even four of the chapters. They transgress the Torah. Joshua Bodo Domarova Amabichro Kishbuch Ani Amati Yishkan Yishkar Yisrael Betach Bodot Ein Yaakov Eretz Dogon Metirish Av Shomov Yarfutal. So it says a bracha on Am Yisrael. They're Bodot, they're alone. They don't need anybody. So now the Bodot will be that they're to the other direct. They'll be alone and suffer. Rashi goes on to explain that when you have two young children, so they're not the zera is not fresh, it's not developed, and she's not developed, so they can't have children. When you have a young child with an older woman, or a young woman with an older child, so that with an older man, so it brings the children faster. So they make sure to have as many children as possible. It says Kalman. So here we have a little Nechama. Yudo Omarav Kalmano v'lo Almano Mamish. It's not Am Yisrael or Almano of the city. He went to the Golos, coming back. It's Kalman. It's not Almano Mamish. Rabotzi begoyim sarosi v'medinois. Wherever they go, they become the masters. The men they're the ones. This is a drush. This is the Ramoshe Chevroini, Yeshiva of Chevron. I believe it was him. Maybe it was another Yeshiva of Chevron. Said on the pasuk that says Haboim Yashresh Yaakov, Suparach Yisrael. So he says Haboim Yashresh Yaakov. Haboim means when Yaakov comes to Golus, Yotzei Suparach Yisrael. They come and they grow. They right away develop. It says when a Yid goes to a city, a week later he's the best friend of the mayor. He has a little political connections. He's involved. That's because they go into a place and right away they develop all. They're connected. It becomes so loud in there.
Here it becomes a mayor.
Oh, exactly. More brings an example to show the Chachma of Am Yisrael and how they became soil. So two people were captured. And the one who captured them was walking behind them. One goes up based on top. One tells his friend, this camel going in front of us, she's blind. It's blind in one eye. So they has two flasks on it. One is wine, one is oil. So two people that are walking the camel, one is a Jew, one is a guy. You you're making some svars. How do you know this? Right? Because you see, the camel is eating only from one side. It's not eating from both sides. That means she's blind in one eye. How do you know that? We see the liquid, the wine, when it goes into the ground, it's swallowed in the ground, and the oil floats. So we see, based on the liquid in the ground, what is it? In the way they go to the bathroom, you see the Nochi just goes where he is, and the Yisrael is more sneers, goes to the side. So the one of the Farshah brings, this is really a mashal to the Shabbai himself. He's a camel, but he really sees only one side. He thinks he's capturing Am Yisrael. He's really capturing only the good, not the nefesh. Never can capture the nefesh. So that was going close to Pesach. Pesach we had Geulus Oilam. What's the Geulus Oilam? Geulus Oilam is Geulus nefesh. Even when we're captured, it's only our guf, not the neshama. Neshama never goes away. A woman in captivity in Hamas can keep Shabbos, right? And then all the stories. So he's saying there's one eye, it's shemen and wine. It's only halfway you capture.
You're not supposed to be so smart. You're supposed to be the spirit, but you're not supposed to be.
Yeah. So they still the coffee. Right. Very good. Yeah. Very good. So he says, so he ran to check the case. He found it. They're right. So he came and he kissed their heads. He brought to his house. He got a big meal. He was dancing in front of them. He gave a special bracha. Even the Chacham, the name, wherever they go, they become masters for their masters. As you saw, and really they left, he let them go. So that's an example of the Chacham Amams. Clearly, the one says, so we talk about two Mikdashos, and this is a Chiddush that in Eichel we talk about Mikdashain, even though it was many years before Mikdashain. Balayla liske laylo. Shnema betisa koleido vitnu es koilon veivko on balayla hu. The Meraglim, when it came back, everybody cried that night. So Omar Rav, Omar Abba, Omar Abichanon, Oiso Leil Tish, Oiso Yoim, Oiso Lailo, Leil Tish Rav Oyo. Omar Kodesh Baruch Hu Yisrael Atem Mechis Mechir Shechinam, Ni Kvalachem Mechir Ledoyo. So you cried this night, you have Mechir Ledoyos. So first of all, what does it mean? Because they cried then, so then in the future of Mechir Ledoyos. So we saw already in the previous daf that the Gemara as there's Ace Miyuchad Lepuranus. You create a certain time which is more appropriate to have something bad happening. And that's what happened there. But many of them first are bringing here the same thing. Ben Yoda says that in Mashal and Ben Yoda and Maharan in his own way, in a different place. That what's the shaykhs between the Miraglim to Beis Hamikdash? Because the Chet of Miraglim caused that Am Yisrael, that generation, did not go into Eretz Yisrael, and that's why Moshe Rabbeinu cannot go into Eretz Yisrael as well. If that generation goes to Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu goes to Israel, they would never go to Golus. The way the Ben Yoda says it, because Moshe Rabbeinu would be oiker the Yitzhahara of the Zon. The way the Maharal says it is that whatever Moshe Rabbeinu does has no ending. Together Mitzrayim doesn't have an end. Here's the Torah doesn't have an end. It's a nitzchi. But going to Israel also doesn't have an end. So the fact that you have a Chitam Miraglim caused Am Yisrael to go to Golus later. So Churban Abayis is happening in direct cause because of the miracle. So not just up to time, but it's also directly correlated. So someone cries at night, people hear him. So it's a louder voice. So the stars cry with him. Once someone hears someone else crying, and it's dark, I'm talking about darkness of those days, there's no other noises, there's no Netflix, it's just silent, so then everybody hears it, cries with it. Exactly. Oh, it's far, very good. That's the Chuch Yechezkel much all by the one Ma'aseh B'Yishagat Shechnotzeh Shon Gamliel, neighbor of Gamliel, Shemeis Bno, voice of Boiche Olo Balayla. He was crying on him in the night. Shomang Gamliel Koilo Uboch Connectors. He heard it and he cried also. At Shenoshru Riseino, his eyelashes fell off. Kiru Batamidov, they moved him out. There was one thing I forgot to say over here. There is a hemshech to the story of these two people that's brought down over here on the side that maybe we should just read quickly. These two people went and they had all the simony of the camel and the wine and the oil and who's carrying them. The Gemara brings you another hemshech. I'm going to read on the side. The Gemara brings like this. It looks like you're the son of one of the ministers of the king. You have a face of a royalty on you. But he wasn't the son of a king. So Allah goes to his mother and says, Mother, is there any truth to what they're saying? Either you tell me good, if not, I'm going to kill you. So B'ni b'shas chupo yotzo bailo, do the chupo, the husband left. V'nichnas klaster shomer chubo aleo, v'nisabri meno. That came that minister of the king, and he brought, and that's how he was born. He gave him bosso, he gave him meat. Amuloi bosso ze yesh batam kelev. That's a taste of a dog. Lak v'sholi imoy, went to ask his mother. Amuloi imagedi muto v'im lavim origim oisoch. He kill you. Keep no, we had one sheep who may saw imo. So the sheep nursed from a dog. So yeah, there's the taste of the dog. There's a taste of a dead. Here he doesn't say that to threaten her by killing her. Seems like she was already cooperating. It's coming from the grapes that are growing on the grave of your father. Then the end, and then he let them go. So there's three more details of the story brought down in the side. It's brought down the Medrash, and some bring in the gears of the Gemara. Big cry of like a woman crying for her first husband. Anyone who hurts Am Yisrael becomes the Rosh. Why is that so? So the first bring different explanation. Either pshat is because if you're made to Yisrael, so then you don't want Shmuel wants to bring that Am Yisrael will fall by somebody who's chashuv, not a simple person. Or some of us should bring that Am Yisrael should not have hope. You know what? We're going to rely on that big king over there. He's going to save us. You should know the big king is against you as well. Now here's the discussion. If you see Sheneemar, it's arriving in the pasuk, or the pasuk is something new. The Goyen takes away Sheneemar. Eloi move for Hashem mutzaklo case Rishon Hekel Arts Zvulun Arts Naftali V'Achor Nichbid Dechayam Ever Yarden Glil Agoy. So there's a lot of a pasuk. The word dash of this pasuk, and what the word brings from here right now is Eloi move for Hashem mutzaklo. It's not tired. The one who is meitziklo. Basically, it's not going to be tired. So it says, when you have the crying of Eichel, it says, not on you people that pass on the way. So what does it mean? Rashi brings three explanations. The first one and the third one are similar to each other. He's saying, when I'm talking about it, I want to say, not on you, anybody who's listening, not for you. I want to tell you that you are protected. I'm not giving a klola to you. You look quickly in Rashi. Rashi says, someone tells somebody else that he has tsar, should not come to you. Oh, very good, very good. I can't repeat it, but yeah. So he says you have to. That's kulval luminato. You have to make sure how to say it. That brings two other explanations. It's like over al that. It was doiktiv Hashem tios doim ilu b'yishaytiv mimarom shlach eish batzvoi sevir deno. Which will compares Am Yisrael to Zdoim. Again, in use of the say v'chtiv, you don't say v'chtiv. Dal oben bas amim michatas doim. So it's worse than Zdoim. It's like more v'chim. Most upon Yesh Badove. If it's worse than Zdoim, Zdoim was nefeches. Yisrael was not nefeches. So why is Am Yisrael not getting this day punishment? There's something great in Yerushalayim that wasn't as doing. What was it? So you had bread and you did not take care of the oni ve'avion. The woman cooked the children. Now what's the right from here? So Rashi learns of Shat is that they invited their friends to eat with them. So there was in that terrible I can't even have this terrible tragedy of eating their children. They still took care of the neighbors. Each neighbor invited their friend to eat. So that was a little bit of rachmanas. That's so there was doich not to have a fichah. Mashal says no. Pshat is that was their einish. For a woman to eat her child, and it means she has to lose a little bit of her mind. That's the punishment, because we're going to allow them to go to such a low level. And that instead of afichas doing, that's what's instead. So in other words, you lost your value. The value is of Am Yisrael was lost. Now what is the Pelain? If you go through the Eichel, that three of the chapters of Eichel that goes through our base, when you get to Ois Ayin, instead of saying Ayin Pei, you have Pei before the Ayin. Say the Aleph is Samech Ayin, Pei Tzadik. You have Pei before Ayin. Why is Pei come before? Because the Meraglim said in their mouth what they didn't see in their eyes, and that's the idea. In general, sometimes people, they see what they want to see. So you decide what you want, your past, your decision, what you want to, and then you saw it. So they went to Eretz Yisrael with the decision that they want to say bad about Eretz Yisrael. So whatever they saw, they interpreted it as Davar Ra. That's Igdim Pelai. Oich le'ami ochlu lechem Hashem le'karo. Omar Olam Avichel kol oichel melachot Yisrael toim tam lechem. V'she'ein oichel melachot Yisrael eino tam lechem. That is the mile of Am Yisrael. The real bread is only Am Yisrael. Hashem le'karo Rav Omer Dayanim v'Shmuel Omar elu melamde tiroikos. So meaning that first of all, Lechem of Yisrael, talking about the first part, as Rashi says, is that the Ummah Yisrael enjoy when they steal from Am Yisrael. That's what they have, the good Gishrak, they steal from Am Yisrael. Now, who are the ones that did something wrong and caused Am Yisrael to curse? Either the Dayanim or the Milam the Tiroikis. The Rebbes and Cheder did not do the right thing. Rashi says, She'oisi Milachtem Remiyah. And that's why they were punished. Okay, so that was that gato regarding the Churban that goes into this Gemara. So the Gemara now. Mimino, who counted the three kings that and the people that don't have Yechezkel Lambo? Yechezkel are the ones that did it. They wanted to count somebody else. Who is that? Shloim Amen. Comes David HaMelech and davens in front of them and pray, David, please don't count him. Now here we have the Varshori puts out that why does it say that we just said that a father can mizaki the son? So a father can mizaki the son with his chus, but he can mizaki the son with the davening. That's what we saw earlier. David HaMelech davened for his son of Sholem. So we have he davened for his son of Sholem, even though it's way after his death. So it's like a concept that David HaMelech had in mind to daven for Shlem. They didn't listen to David. But so here, by the way, here you see the lashon that you hear that he didn't want to be in the list. What's David? You want to be? Because the list means it's the blacklist. Don't be the blacklist. Yeah. Gives fire of Shamayim and wants to burn the bottom of the sapsel. They didn't listen. That's what Baskov Amalem Chazisa Ishmael and Malachto the Fimilochim Isatzov. Probably Sats of Yecheshuchim. The I saw Mayim Lachto first Shloim Amelech. He should be with the good Malachim and not the Cheshuchim. Why? Mishigdim Beisi Leveso. He made my house to be Samigdosh before he built his own house. My house took 7 years to build. Who Beisi Bona B'Shlois to Shon. And his house took 30 years to build. If name Malachim Isatzov. So Baskal came also. Some of the first should correlate this to the story with Tanush Lachnoi, when Ablozer asked for the Koisel Beis Medrash, for the Amasamayim, and Baskal didn't listen. Yotzo Baskal, so here Baskal said 1 second. With all, I would add the words, with all due respect that Shekres Legdoila, everything you do here in this world, you're in charge. But here, this is Olam Haba, this is my territory. Meaning, Olam Haba, Akash Baruch decides who goes to Olam Haba. So I'm telling you, the Shur HaMelech is going to Olam Haba. So, Loi B'Shamayim, you look at me the Aretz, but here we're talking about the B'Shamayim. So I'm telling you, the Shur HaMelech is going to Olam Haba. And here comes the next line that goes, Zoktumar. Dorshe V'Shumas HaYoyim. Comes Dorshe V'Shumas that say, Hulam Boi Olam Haba. They're all going to Olam Haba. Shenema. What? Right. I'm talking about the Jews. Very good. Shenema. The Gemara is going to dash. Li Gilad, Li Menashe, B'Ephraim, Me'oz Roishi, Yehuda, Mechoikiki. Me'ov Sirachati, Al Edom Ashlich Na'ali, Alei Pleshes Yisroi. That's the puzzle. 4 dashes. Li Gilad, Ze Achov. Achov is Gilad. Shenafel B'Ram is Gilad. Menashe, Kibashmoy, Menashe is Menashe, and Chizkiel. Ephraim, Oiz Roishi, Zeyirova. Because it's not Kasim Ephraim. Yehuda, Mechoikiki, who's that? Zachri Toifel. The one said Kufi Amundav because he be Yehuda. Because of Shevid Yehuda. Rashi brings, Tobit says, Einish Ke'erki, it means he was his family. Moyev Si Rachatzi, Zegechosi Sheloko, Aliske Erechitzo. You have to understand why Gechosi is so equal to that. Al Edo Shid Ali is the Doyega Doimi, who said Loshanar. The pleasure is Shoi. Omer Malchel says, V'akash Baruch Hu Shloim Yivod David Shoiges a Plishti. Interesting. Why Dafka here? We're talking about the Plishti. David Melech killed Goyos. For Irish is Banecha Gas. Ma'ato Yisrael, he's going to come in Olam Haba, and he's going to see over there his enemies, Achitophel. He's going to see them. He's going to see the Daimi. Amalem Alayla, Soisim Rein Zelazet. You know, so I'm going to have to make peace between David and his enemies. So yeah, it's on me. But they all come to Olam Haba. So here it's a big yisoid that the Leshev speaks about. We talked about in the Shom Machshava in the beginning of Sanhedrin of the Pekhelik. But the big yisoid, this is where he goes to Yeshuvas. The Leshev explains by Richus Doila that everyone in Klal Yisrael is going to Olam Haba. Why? Really goes misvar. It's a little bit of a svar. As the Ramchal explains, why exactly Shmuel created this world. This world is a pathway to get to Olam Haba. Really, Shmuel wants to put everybody in Olam Haba to begin with. But it's going to be Na'amad Kisufal. You're going to get a free man's bread. It's embarrassing. So Shmuel says, you know what? You're going to earn it. How are you going to earn it? You go through Olam Haba. But the intention is to go to Olam Haba. So if a person goes to Olam Haba and he's a Rosh and he loses Olam Haba, so the purpose was defeated. So the side is that everybody comes to Olam Haba. Elamah. It doesn't come directly to Olam Haba. Some have to go through a long process to get to Olam Haba. Either Shiva Midor Gehenim, or Gilgul Neshamis, or there's a Chibut Akever. There's different things that different punishments you have to go through. He brings based on the Ramanic Pana. Ramanic Pana brings on the Gemara, not the Gemara by us. The Gemara believe in Kiddushin. The Gemara says that it says about the Rishoyim, the Gehenim Kole Vehem Einam Kole. The Gehenim would be finished, and they will not be finished. The Pashup Shat means they're going to be in Gehenim forever. There's a Gehenim can end, it's not going to end. He says no. It says in my part, it's Pashup Shat. So Gehenim is Kole, and they're going to still be alive. They're going to survive the years and years of Gehenim. And when it says, for example, the Rishoyim, they're going to be out for Takas Kappa Tzadikim. Doesn't mean literally offer. It means they're going to have schus of tzaddikim. But everyone in Klal Yisrael has aftacha. Klal Yisrael yesh bechelek lo'im haba. And this is the end of when the Gemara says Dosh Yeshumas. It's not a machlokes. There is a output of the pasuk shot. The on the surface. They don't have the schus to go to haba. They have to go through different mahalchim to get to haba. They have to go to Dosh Yeshumas. They have to darshan underneath the surface. They have to go through a whole talich to get to Olam Haba. Then they get to Olam Haba. Some machlokes is just another level, it's a deeper level of Olam Haba. On the surface, they don't go directly to Olam Haba. They have a lot to go through, and this is the conclusion really of our sugya. We're still going into it, but the sugya of Eilu Shelu Cheklo Haba is that Dosh Yeshua said they will get Olam Haba. Every yid has the aftacha. Kol Yisrael Yisrael Chelek Olam Haba.